Seeing now?
Yes, sir. It moved forward and it's till. Yes, it's moving forward now.
So it has all this have been done in last class.
Sir, could you please start the recording as well?
Yeah, that's what it is not possible. Not to. I told in last class, no. So I'll be sharing it all this later. Okay, so capacity of flat fading channel. You are seeing the figure, no? Available?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Basically, the flat fading channel is characterized by G of I, that is the characteristics, channel gain or attenuation at the time I. And since it depends on G of I, we have defined three scenarios. I'm moving fast because all those things have been done in last class. So there are three cases. CDI, channel distribution information, in which only the distribution of G of I is known to both the transmitter and receiver. In a receiver CSI, the value of G at a time I is known to the receiver along with the distribution of G of I at both. In the third case, transmitter receiver CSI, the value of G at a time I is known to both the transmitter and receiver along with distribution of G of I. So the value of capacity accuracy increases with the increase in complexity of the circuit. So in the first one, we have two cases, Shannon capacity and outage capacity. In Shannon capacity, we take the reference of Shannon capacity of AWGN channel and we modify that equation to suit for flat fading channel. In the outage capacity, the receiver declares an outage when it is unable to decode the signal. So in the first case, the Shannon capacity C equal to B into log to 1 plus gamma for AWGN channel. That equation is modified by deliberately multiplying probability of occurrence of SNR because it depends on IID and it is averaged over the time. In the next case, it is outage capacity. The receiver declares an outage when it is unable to decode the signal. So minimum SNR is defined by the receiver with which it will be able to decode the signal. So capacity depends on gamma min. So C equal to 1 minus P out into B log to 1 minus gamma min. P out is outage probability. Then in the third case, transmitter receiver CSI, value of G at a time I is known to both the transmitter and receiver along with the distribution of G at all the times. So that means since the transmitter and receiver have the knowledge of the channel in advance, definitely we can go for optimal capacity. So when you go for optimal capacity, optimal SNR, optimal power is defined, called power constraint. So taking reference again with the AWGN channel, and that is modified to suit here with the definition of power constraint. What is power constraint? The average value of P is always maintained with the minimum SNR. So the equation for C in case of transmitter receiver CSI is deliberately modified or multiplied with the normalized power P of gamma divided by P bar, which denotes power constraint. So we need to find the maximum of that integration. To do that, we take help of Lagrangian technique, which is in the form of Lagrangian multiplier lambda. And that equation is differentiated with respect to the variable. Here variable is P of gamma and equated to 0. So when you find that, we can have the equation for power constraint P of gamma divided by P bar, which is nothing but water filling formula or optimal power formula. So, or power adaptation formula. So power adaptation formula basically denotes the bell-shaped curve, a bowl-shaped curve filled with power P of gamma divided by P bar at a particular time. And in the second case, ergodic capacity, that is zero outage capacity, outage capacity, ergodic means Shana, same thing. Zero outage capacity, it is zero outage because the outage won't occur because we'll be maintaining power constraint. And that is defined in terms of a constant sigma called channel inversion parameter. The channel inversion parameter, channel inversion is nothing but the value of or behavior of the channel tomorrow. That is, tomorrow we will have the loss of say 5 dB. So take care that 5 dB at the transmitter side itself. So increase the transmitting power by that value to make the loss. So that is a channel inversion. Right? So it is nothing but channel inversion capacity in terms of average SNR or mean SNR or first moment of SNR. So next class onwards, if the people are coming so late, I won't admit. It is 4:24. The next class, they need to be on time. The next zero outage capacity, writing equation for zero outage capacity in the same form. And we will have water filling formula. The next is frequency selective fading channel. So since it is frequency selective, we will have two cases when it is time dependent or time independent. So in the time invariant channel, the channel response is divided into block of B, bandwidth B, so that SNR is written in the form of B. And power in each block is P of F square or H of, P of F or H of F square. So again, using Lagrangian equation to find maximum value of that and to get water filling formula. But here it is not in the shape of pole. It is the frequency response only, but portion of it is filled with the power. Then next, if we are unable to divide into block of B, then it is divided into small frequency components. And equation written in terms of DF. And B is invalid here. The next is time variant channel. So it depends on both the frequency and time. Therefore, it is divided into block of coherence bandwidth. Coherence bandwidth, basically, it is a bandwidth through which H of F is almost constant with respect to time. So equation is written in terms of BC, and the maximum value of it is obtained using Lagrangian multiplier. So finally, comparison was done among all those cases. The next numericals. First example. Just look at it. So value of IID, that is in fact the root of G of I, is given with its probability of occurrence P1, P2, P3, and noise is given, noise PST, 10 to the power of -9 watts per hertz. Find Shannon capacity and compare with that of average capacity. So first finding the SNR, which is a function of I, g of I. So P bar g of I divided by N naught B. And we have three SNR values. For each g of I. So capacity is equal to, we have three cases. So summation of B log 2, summation or integration, it's one and the same. Summation of B log 2 1 plus gamma I, P of gamma I. So answer is 199.3 kbps. Now next is compare that of average capacity, that is average find out average SNR. That is each SNR is multiplied with its probability of occurrence 0.1 into 0.83 plus 0.5 into 83.3 plus 0.4 into 333.3. So we'll have average SNR of 22.43 dB or 175. And average C equal to simply B log 2 1 plus 175. So it is 223. So obviously average SNR is greater than capacity of fading channel. That's what the equation was included in one of the slides. Always this C, flat fading channel C, is less than B log 2 1 plus gamma. Any doubt? Next is finding outage capacity for P out less than 0.1 and P out equal to 0.1 and P out equal to 0.6. Now you see outage probability, the equation for C, or C out, you can call it as C out to differentiate. C out equal to 1 minus P out B log 2 1 plus SNR. First is you have to find out P out. In the first case, she gives P out less than 0.1. That means greater than 90% of the signal the receiver is able to decode. P out is less than 10%. P out is less than 10% means could be 0% also. So when you say P out is less than 10%, P acceptable is greater than 90%. So maybe 100% also. So therefore, for the best case, you can take P out as 0. So therefore, C out will be what? 1 minus P out is 1. So C out will be 1 into B log 2 1 plus gamma min. Gamma min is defined. So look at the values given in the numerical with probability of 0.1, that is P1 equal to 0.1, root G1 equal to 0.01. So the SNR with respect to that P1 is gamma min because maximum P out is 10%. So taken that as a minimum SNR. So value of C is 26 kbps. Any doubt in this? Moving on to the second case. P out equal to 0.1. Now P out equal to 0.1, that is 10% outage declared. So when 10% outage is declared, 90% is accepted, not more than 90%. So with 90% occurrence, what is the minimum SNR? If you take a minimum SNR as gamma 1 itself, what is happen? Occurrence will be greater than 90%. So occurrence should be 90% or lesser than that. So you have to discard gamma 1. That is with occurrence of 0.1. Gamma 1 is occurrence of 0.1. So you have to discard that SNR. That means take gamma 2 as gamma min. You have to take gamma 2 as gamma min. So taking gamma 2 as gamma min, it is 1 minus P out. P out equal to 0.1. B log 2 1 plus gamma min. Gamma min is gamma 2 because you have to discard gamma 1. You have to discard 10%. So answer is 192 kbps. Third case, it is 0.6. P out equal to 0.6. Now you look at the set of gammas. With what value of gammas you will have minimum probability of occurrence of 0.6. So when you add gamma 1 and gamma 2, we will have 0.6. Gamma 1 probability of occurrence is 0.1, gamma 2 probability of occurrence is 0.5. So gamma 1 plus gamma 2 will be 0.5. So if you consider gamma 3 as gamma min, you will be discarding gamma 1 and gamma 2. So you'll be having 60% outage or 10% accepted. So therefore, gamma 1 and 2 are discarded. So with that, gamma min is taken as gamma 3 and P out is 0.6. The answer is 251 kbps. If you have any doubt, you are free to interrupt me. So when you plot this, you remember this graph. Always C versus P out will be step function. It is not linearly variable function. It is step. So obvious. Look at the values, 3 values above with the gamma minimum value of gamma 1, gamma 2, gamma 3. So always it will be a step function. Next, finding ergodic capacity. So to find ergodic capacity, first you have to find out cutoff SNR gamma naught. Right? So to find out cutoff SNR, you have to use the equation. We have to use power constraint equation. So power constraint equation is integration gamma naught to infinity 1 by gamma naught minus 1 by gamma P of gamma d gamma equal to 1. So Jaegler-Roff equation. by using this equation, you have to find out cutoff SNR I don't think I need to explain anything here. So minimum SNR is obtained. SNR gamma naught equal to 0.89. So among three values of SNR, if you are having SNR less than 0.89, you have to discard it because cutoff SNR is 0.89. So we have gamma 1 equal to 0.83. So we have to discard, we have to eliminate first SNR, first channel in fact. So when you eliminate first channel, you find out cutoff SNR again. So with gamma 2 and gamma 3, find out cutoff SNR again. So now finding cutoff SNR again, you look at the equation, it is summation of gamma 2 and gamma 3. That is equal to 1. So with this, the minimum SNR you'll get is 0.89 again. That means acceptance of gamma 2 and gamma 3, that is acceptance of second and third channel is valid. So find out capacity with gamma 2 and gamma 3. So see summation of I equal to 2 and 3. I equal to 1 eliminated. I equal to 2 and 3. Right? So ergodic capacity is 200 kbps. If you have any doubts, you are free to raise. Any doubt? The next, finding capacity with transmitter receiver CSI, that is the third case. So here you have to find out sigma. Sigma is nothing but expectation of 1 by gamma, that's equal to integration 1 by gamma P of gamma d gamma. So value of expectation is 0.13. Right? So capacity is equal to B log to 1 plus 1 by 0.3. I mean 1 by 0.13. Turns out to be 94 kbps. So just observe with the transmitter receiver CSI, the capacity decreases drastically. Then outage capacity with the gamma 2 and gamma 3, because she has given gamma naught equal to 0.84. So with that, with the gamma naught equal to 0.84, eliminate gamma 1, we will have gamma 2 and gamma 3. So simply capacity with only 2 channels. 0.5 divided by 83.3 plus 0.4 divided by 333.3. So expectation value is 0.007 and capacity is 192.5. Yeah, any doubt? Then the last one, gamma naught equal to 83.4, new cutoff. So with 83.4, we can have only one channel, that is the last channel, right? So expectation will be 0.003, 0.002, and capacity will be 116 kbps. Yeah, another example. It is time invariant channel. Find out capacity with values H1 equal to 1, H2 equal to 2, H3 equal to 3. And transmitted power is 10 milliwatts. Find out optimal power allocation and capacity. So finding gamma for 3 channels. It is 10, 40, 90. So using power constraint formula, find out cutoff SNR and see whether all the thin channels are allowed or not. Since gamma naught equal to 2.64, so all the SNRs, all the channels with SNR, gamma 1 equal to 10, gamma 2 equal to 40, gamma 3 equal to 90, all are above 2.64. So all the 3 channels are valid. So C equal to simply summation of B log 2 P of gamma divided by gamma, C equal to B log 2 gamma I by gamma naught. Since 3 channels are there, it is summation. Answer is just 11 Mbps. It is not kbps, Mbps. Exercise problem. Consider a flat fading channel. with the 4 SNRs. Mind you, it's given in dB. (30 dB, 20 dB, 10 dB, and 0 dB). With probability of occurrence 0.1, 0.15, and 0.25 for the last two cases. Find out power adaptation policy and capacity. Since B is not given, it is C by B. Then channel inversion capacity by B. Then outage capacity for 3 different P outs. Finding minimum SNR or cutoff SNR. So cutoff SNR is point. So all the channels are allowed. You have to find out channel adaptation policy by applying constraint formula, power constraint formula. So power adaptation policy P of gamma divided by P bar is 1.2 for first SNR, second SNR approximately same, third SNR 1.1, fourth SNR 0.2. This is the power adaptation policy. So C by B for the first case. Summation. All the 4 channels are allowed. So I equal to 1 to 4. B log 2 gamma by cutoff SNR into probability of occurrence. Then second, find out sigma power adaptation policy for 4 SNR values. So capacity per hertz per bandwidth C by B log 2 1 plus sigma. (2.4 PPS per hertz). Third case, she has given 3 P outs, P out equal to 0.1, 0.2 and P out equal to 0.25. So in the first case, 0.1. Eliminate first SNR, find out C by B. In the second case, second and third you have to find out. Next example, next problem. Here, the received power is a distribution. PR of D equal to PT into D naught by D to the power of alpha. So you have to find out PR of D at different values of alpha. So SNR is a function of alpha, therefore signal to noise ratio is PR of D divided by P noise. P noise is given. So first you have to find out PR of D, then put in this equation for 4 SNR values or 4 alpha values. Then again, as usual, as before, find out cutoff SNR. And find C by P. If all the channels are allowed, include all the SNRs. Here minimum SNR is 0.43, so you have to eliminate the first one and find out SNR, I mean C by B with the second cutoff. But before that, you need to confirm whether that is cutoff is valid with the other 3 channels. So C by B equal to 2.3 kps per hertz. So this is power adaptation policy. So with this, I'm concluding this class. Next class will be on Thursday morning. That is a digital modulation technique applied to free space channel. I mean wireless channel. That also it is not a big chapter, so it will, I think hardly I need 1 hour. May not be that much. Okay, I'll be sharing these slides.